wote, tupige kura, tujitokeze, tupige kura, tunaimarisha demokrasia. IEBC, usawa kwa wote, IEBC, inaleta mabadiliko, yenye wazima wa mipaka, inabuni mbinu mpya ya uchaguzi, haki kwa watu wote. IEBC ni tume huru.
IEBC, your vote, your future.
Chagua Kenya unayoivunia, chagua Kenya unayoitaka. Tuungane pamoja, tujenge nchi yetu. Kenya ni moja, na sura ni moja. Tujiandikishe wote, tupige kura, tujitokeze, tupige kura, tunaimarisha demokrasia. Inaleta mabadiliko, yenye wazima wa mipaka, inabuni mbinu mpya ya uchaguzi, haki kwa watu wote. IEBC ni tume huru.
IEBC, your vote, your future.
Chagua Kenya unayoivunia, chagua Kenya unayoitaka. Tuungane pamoja, tujenge nchi yetu. Kenya ni moja, na sura ni moja. Tujiandikishe wote, tupige kura, tujitokeze, tupige kura, tunaimarisha demokrasia. IEBC, usawa kwa wote, inaleta mabadiliko, yenye wazima wa mipaka, inabuni mbinu mpya ya uchaguzi, haki kwa watu wote. IEBC ni tume huru.
IEBC, your vote, your future.
Chagua Kenya unayoivunia, chagua Kenya unayoitaka. Tuungane pamoja, tujenge nchi yetu. Kenya ni moja, na sura ni moja. Tujiandikishe wote, tupige kura, tujitokeze, tupige kura, tunaimarisha demokrasia. IEBC, usawa kwa wote, inaleta mabadiliko, yenye wazima wa mipaka, inabuni mbinu mpya ya uchaguzi, haki kwa watu wote. IEBC ni tume huru.
IEBC, your vote, your future.
Chagua Kenya unayoivunia, chagua Kenya unayoitaka. Tuungane pamoja, tujenge nchi yetu. Kenya ni moja, na sura ni moja. Tujiandikishe wote, tupige kura. Tujitokeze, tupige kura. Tunaimarisha demokrasia. IEBC, usawa kwa wote. IEBC, inaleta mabadiliko. Yenye wazima wa mipaka, inabuni mbinu mpya ya uchaguzi. Haki kwa watu wote. IEBC ni tume huru.
IEBC, your vote, your future.
Chagua Kenya unayoivunia, chagua Kenya unayoitaka. Tuungane pamoja, tujenge nchi yetu. Kenya ni moja, na sura ni moja. Tujiandikishe wote, tupige kura. Tujitokeze, tupige kura. Tunaimarisha demokrasia. IEBC, usawa kwa wote. IEBC, inaleta mabadiliko. Yenye wazima wa mipaka, inabuni mbinu mpya ya uchaguzi. Haki kwa watu wote. IEBC ni tume huru.
IEBC, your vote, your future.
Chagua Kenya unayoivunia, chagua Kenya unayoitaka. Tuungane pamoja, tujenge nchi yetu. Kenya ni moja, na sura ni moja. Tujiandikishe wote, tupige kura. Tujitokeze.
Okay, we call the meeting to order so that in the interest of time we can begin our business of the day. So the resident coordinator, the United Nations, the UNDP resident representative, Excellencies, High Commissioners, Ambassadors present here, their representatives, representatives from the Treasury present here, representatives of other government agencies that have come here today, and of course our media. I can see our media is present today. Thank you very much for coming. For the state, very important in working with us this journey. Today we have a brief ceremony, which is a ceremony that brings us to a very important stage in our relationships with the United Nations and the international community towards support to our electoral processes. Today we will be signing a program for support, a partnership arrangement with the United Nations, and this support is based on our request to the United Nations to support the electoral management body and the electoral processes. So the program today will proceed as follows. We will have remarks from the United Nations Resident Coordinator. Then we will have the UNDP Resident Representative, John Luke, to give us an overview of the program we are launching today towards electoral support in Kenya. Once that overview is done, we will invite some of our partners present here to make some remarks, and then we will sign the program document in front of you, the media, and the people of Kenya. So that is how we'll proceed. We'll make it quick and to the point. So I will therefore take this opportunity to welcome you, the UN Resident Coordinator, to make your remarks. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairperson, Commissioners of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, Madam Undersecretary General, DG, thank you for being here. Representatives of the National Treasury and the Office of the Attorney General, heads of United Nations agencies, development partners, welcome colleagues from civil society, and of course the media. It is a privilege to join you on behalf of the United Nations country team for the launch of the Secure Election Kenya program. And let me begin with what this morning actually means. The 2027 general election will be Kenya's 8th since the return to multi-party politics, and the 4th under the 2010 Constitution. And that is remarkable on any continent. It was not given, it was built, elections by election, institution by institution. The government of Kenya invited the United Nations to support its preparation, then subjected the program to full legal and public finance review through the Office of the Attorney General and the National Treasury under the leadership of the IEBC. A government confident in its institutions does not avoid scrutiny, it invites it. That invitation is a testimony to Kenya's determination that 2027 meets the highest standards of transparency, credibility, and peace. So, a peaceful, inclusive, and credible election in 2027 will be first and last a Kenyan achievement. Its dividends, however, will be felt far beyond Kenya's boundaries. So on behalf of the United Nations country team, I reaffirm our commitment to accompany Kenya through every stage of this process: transparency, impartiality, and of course, in good faith. Let today mark the completion of a document. Let today mark not the completion of a document, but the beginning of a disciplined collective delivery. Asante sana.
Thank you very much. Let us give a clap to our UN Resident Coordinator. I now invite the United Nations Development Programme Resident Representative to give us an overview of the program of this UN Election Support Program so that we understand the content of the program, what it's all about, the kind of benefits we expect towards credible, free and fair elections. Karibu sana, John Luke.
Thank you very much, Chairperson of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. I will take it from the established protocol, and let me emphasize that the United Nations electoral offer goes beyond technical support. The United Nations brings a distinct value proposition to electoral assistance. Across the world, the UN has supported countries not only in the technical delivery of elections, but also in strengthening democratic governance, promoting inclusion, safeguarding human rights, supporting peaceful political participation and helping to prevent and mitigate electoral tensions. This is particularly important because elections are not merely a technical exercise. They are also deeply political and social processes that require trust, dialogue, participation, and confidence among institutions, stakeholders, and citizens. The UN comparative advantage lies in its ability to bring together these multiple dimensions through impartial support, global expertise, convening power, and a commitment to national ownership. Our role is not to lead Kenya elections, but to help strengthen Kenya institutions and stakeholders to lead successfully themselves. Partnership will determine success. It is really good to see that we have a good attendance this morning around this table this morning to witness the signing of this agreement, because that is what will determine the success, the partnership around this support to elections. The success of this program will depend on the collective efforts of all stakeholders, government institutions, the IEBC, political actors, civil society, media, development partners, and citizens themselves. This program reflects a shared vision and a shared investment in Kenya's democratic future. The encouraging progress achieved so far gives us every reason for optimism. However, sustaining that progress will require continued commitment, dialogue, and partnership over the coming months and years. The United Nations remain steadfast in its support and look forward to working alongside all partners to advance peaceful, inclusive, credible, and transparent election in 2027. In conclusion, as we sign this program document today, let us remember that elections are not only about the conduct of voting. They are about strengthening institutions, building trust, safeguarding peace, and renewing the bond between citizen and the state. Kenya already possesses the foundations for success. Our collective task is to harness those strengths and ensure that in 2027 election become not only a credible electoral process, but a powerful demonstration of democratic maturity, inclusion, and national unity. Therefore, let us move together beyond preparing for an election and commit to delivering confidence in democracy itself. I would like to end by saying, because I was asked also to provide an overview, so this document that we are signing today has a total budget of about 13.3 million USD. I want to update you, Chairperson and RC, DG, and all the partners around the table. There are already a number of partners that have indicated support to this program, which is really very encouraging. And we really hope that in the coming weeks and months we will be able to bridge that gap and attend the required financial support, because like I have said in my remarks, this is not only technical support, it has a lot of elements to really make sure that we have credible and transparent election. But without those financial means, it will be difficult to achieve all the activities proposed. So we count on all of you to join us in this effort. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Jean-Luc. I think that has been comprehensive enough. Now you understand that the program is seeking to mobilize approximately $13.4 million US. That translates to about 1.7 billion Kenyan shillings that we need to support various institutions, including IEBC, in preparing for the general election 2027. I will therefore request one of the representatives of our development partners who will speak on that. Okay. So let me invite the representative of European Union, EU, to make a few remarks.
Thank you very much, Chair. And also allow me to write on already established protocol and just make a few very short unscripted remarks if I can. I just want to say we very much welcome, of course, the signing of this program today and the cooperation between UNDP and I would say the broader development community and IEBC. We, of course, on the side of the EU have been there with Kenya for many decades, both through the support of the electoral processes and also through the allocation of the European Union electoral observation missions. We will continue to do the same also for this particular round. We will support the process and we remain open also to an invitation from the Kenyan authorities to organize an electoral observation. Practically speaking, we have already started our support. We're not part of the fund at the moment, but we do provide bilateral support, and we are focusing, I would say, on sort of three main things. So the first one would be very much on prevention of violence. So that's both online and offline. We already have a program in place, and I see a very close link to the work of IEBC there. So whatever it is that we are able to catch through the programs that we have in place would be also shared with the IEBC, and I think we should be coordinating very closely on how to tackle that. So I think this is historically very important in this country. The second one is around citizen and civil society participation. We have an ongoing call for proposal there, and I think this is just the core of the election. So making sure that people are taking their part in the execution of the elections. And then the last one is very much around monitoring. I did mention the election observation mission that we have provided in the past, but of course there are also local outfits that are looking at this, and we would be supporting ELOC. And I think they should be working again, very closely with you, making sure that we are getting the right information from how the elections are being implemented. I mean, from our perspective, I think it's key to make sure that the elections are indeed credible, and that especially they are peaceful. And I think we spoke, Gary, at the very beginning, and I mentioned that when I arrived 3 years ago, I did participate in a workshop where I think the peaceful nature of the elections was the main value. And I think we need to make sure that Kenya and these elections are not sliding back, that we are continuing to move forward, as has been, I think, the historical trend. So again, I just want to say, the security, I think, is very, very important. And again, we very much welcome the moment today, and we look forward to further cooperation with IEBC and with the UN system. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, representative of the EU. We have also with us the representatives from the Office of the Attorney General, and we have representatives from the National Treasury. So before we will make this ceremony short because we have other functions to attend, but so we will move towards concluding it by inviting the representative from the AG to make a few remarks. Then we
Thank you so much, Chair. My name is Shadrach Mose, the Solicitor General of the Republic, and I'm here to represent the Honorable the Attorney General. So, Chair, you would allow me to go straight to the remarks by the Attorney General, because she would have loved to be here personally, but there was a compelling assignment that came up, and therefore would request that I go through her remarks, because our office, the IEBC, the UN resident coordinator, the UNDP resident representatives, and riding on all protocols, allow me to make remarks that the Honorable the Attorney General would have loved to make. First and foremost, receive her warm regards. The signing of this important document signifies our shared commitment to strengthening the institution that is tasked with safeguarding our constitutional democracy, and which has been given the responsibility of ensuring that election, particularly this coming election, continue to meet the high standards set by our constitution and the responsibility they are given. The constitution guarantees every Kenyan the right to participate in free, fair, and credible elections. The fulfillment of this right depends on strong institutions, sound planning, adequate resources, and enduring partnership. It is therefore encouraging to witness the continued cooperation between the Government of Kenya, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, and the United Nations in supporting this important national endeavor. The United Nations has remained a trusted and valued development partner in supporting democratic governance across the world. In Kenya, that partnership has consistently respected our constitutional institutions while providing technical expertise, capacity building, and operational support that strengthens electoral administrations. Such a cooperation contributes to greater public confidence, promotes peaceful participation, and reinforces integrity of our electoral system. Electoral preparedness is one of the most important determinants of a successive election. Preparedness requires timely voter registration, effective voter education, procurement of electoral materials, robust election technology, comprehensive training of election officials, efficient dispute prevention and resolution mechanisms, cybersecurity safeguards, public communication, and close coordination among constitutional institutions. It also demands continuous engagement with political parties, civil society, the media, security agencies, and citizens to ensure that every stakeholder understands and plays their constitutional role. As we prepare for the 2027 general election, this program comes at an opportune moment. It will support institutional preparedness, strengthen voter engagement, enhance dispute prevention and the resolution mechanism, promote inclusion of women, youth, and persons with disabilities, and reinforce public confidence in the electoral process. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Office of the Attorney General, I assure you that we will remain committed to working closely with the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, the National Treasury, and all stakeholders to ensure that the program is implemented in full compliance with our Constitution and our laws. As the government's principal legal advisor, the Office of the Attorney General will continue to provide timely advice on all aspects of the program's implementation, ensuring that every activity undertaken is firmly anchored in the Constitution, respects the independence of the Commission and upholds the principles of transparency, accountability, the rule of law. We should also continue to advise on governance, procurement, financial accountability, data protection, and other legal and regulatory obligations that are essential to the effective implementation of the program. Before I conclude, I also want to say that as the Office of the Attorney General, we have two departments. We also have the State Department of Justice that is represented by our PS, Judy Pareno, who is also here with us by way of my attendance. She was also committed. But one of her concerns or highlights that I would also want to point out is that the State Department for Justice, Human Rights, and the Constitutional Affairs, under Executive Order Number 1 of 2025, has also a clear mandate to coordinate constitutional implementation, democracy, good governance, and electoral reforms. In this regard, as that State Department will also remain a key stakeholder in the ongoing electoral reform agenda and committed to working collaboratively with all institutions, particularly the IEBC, the judiciary, the civil society, the political actors, and our development partners. In conclusion, Chair, let us remember that it's our collective duty to ensure that every ballot cast by the people of Kenya reflects not only their sovereign will, but also their confidence in our institutions, that they are impartial, transparent, and fully prepared to discharge their constitutional mandate. Allow me to conclude by expressing our sincere appreciation to the United Nations Resident Coordinator's Office, UNDP, and all development partners for their continued support to Kenya's democratic institutions. Your partnership demonstrates a shared belief that credible elections are fundamental to peace, stability, good governance, and sustainable development. Thank you, Chair.
Let us give a round of applause to our Solicitor General, Honorable Shadrach Mose. Thank you very much for those wonderful and very encouraging remarks from the Honorable Attorney General, and of course from our PS, Ms. Pereno, of the State Department for Justice and Human Rights. I believe when we started when we took over office, we have engaged with your office, and you've been part and parcel of the development of this program. And the role the AG's office plays is to look at our partnership arrangements and programs with development partners and indeed, of course, other institutions. And we're very pleased that you cleared this program within record time, while recognizing the importance of this kind of support towards our preparations for the 2027 general election. So thank you very much. Convey our gratitude and our greetings to the Honorable Attorney General and the PS. We thank you very much for coming. Now allow me also, Excellencies, to invite the representative of the PS, the representative of the National Treasury, to also make a few remarks.
Thank you very much, Chair. I'm very, very glad to join you representing the PS National Treasury to witness this momentous occasion. And I'm also happier, much happier to be here because I have witnessed firsthand how resource constrained the IEBC is, to the extent that even some of your staff are unable to get a seat to join us in this very important occasion.
Thank you.
But I'm consoled by the fact that kazi yenu iko kwa ground, sio kwa boardroom, and therefore you should focus more on how to deliver credible and democratic elections on the ground, not on the boardrooms. Now, really, just to emphasize the fact that this collaboration is going to be very, very critical, not only for the IEBC, but for Kenya as a whole. IEBC currently has serious resource constraint, and I was saying it as a joke, but they do. Conducting credible elections requires enormous resources, and IEBC currently does not have enough resources. Just as an example, in this year's budget, the request that the IEBC gave us was 67 billion shillings. Of course, they submitted to Parliament a slightly higher figure of 74 billion, which shows they really need enormous resources. What did we do? We allocated them only 20.7 billion in this year's budget, 2026-27, and have given them an indicative figure again of 15.6 billion in next year's budget, which we are going to review, of course, to make sure that they have resources for the elections. But you can see the level of gap that is still there, and therefore having partners that can provide financial and technical resources that the IEBC requires to deliver credible elections is very important. And therefore, we sincerely thank the UN system for coming on board, and we urge other partners to also come on board and support the IEBC. Even if you don't give direct support to IEBC, you can support activities related with the elections directly, so that we have very credible elections in 2027. And we are very, very, very grateful. Thank you, Chair.
You didn't tell us your name.
Oh, sorry. My name is Rafael Lowino Tieno, the Director General of the Public Debt Management Office at the National Treasury.
Thank you, Rafael. Rafael is, as you have said, the Director General, Public Debt Management at the Treasury. You've heard him speak, and you've heard him explain the deficits. And he has also seen the deficit in action. So, but for, of course, the general election budget, we continue to have dialogue with the government, with the Parliament, with the National Treasury. And I would like to really assure the nation that both Parliament and the National Treasury have been very, very supportive so far. We've managed to conduct and conclude successfully 32 elections since we came to office, by-elections, both from the senatorial, members of Parliament, members of county assemblies. We have done all those elections successfully, including the just concluded one in Olkalau, courtesy of the funding support and provision from the government. And by that I mean Parliament and the National Treasury, who have been very supportive to our electoral processes. We have also received support from them in terms of us undertaking the various preparatory activities towards the next general election. And starting from the voter registration, we are currently undertaking continuous voter registration, but as you all are aware, in the month of March to April, we conducted the mass voter registration, again courtesy of the support from our government, or our partners in government, that's Parliament and the National Treasury. And so far, we have registered more than 2.5 million Kenyans. And we'll be sharing that information in due course when we conclude. We've also undertaken activities and preparations, and we will continue to engage with you, Mr. Rafael Owino, as we seek for more resources, optimum resources, to make sure we deliver a credible, peaceful, free and fair elections come 2027. Finally, for the Treasury, I would personally, on behalf of commissioners present here and staff of the IBC, and indeed on behalf of our partners, the United Nations and development partners present here, who are working or willing to work with us towards mobilizing more resources through this UNDP basket fund. My gratitude comes from the record time within which you approved this program document. Because again, Treasury, just like the AG's office, has to look at our agreements, funding arrangements with international development partners. And all this is in the spirit of transparency, because even these resources will be audited as at how we've deployed them optimally. So thank you very much for coming through for us when we requested for the support, and convey our greetings to the CS and the PS. I will now make a few remarks, then we sign the program document. I would not talk too much because you have said most of our work is on the ground. So I will make a few remarks and then we can go to the ground and do the actual work. So again, I would like to acknowledge the presence of all of you, who are our distinguished guests, starting from the UN Resident Coordinator, the UNDP representative. We also have the Director General of the United Nations Office in Nairobi, Mrs. Zainab Hawa Bangura. We recognize you. We also recognize the presence of the representative from JICA. I believe they're here. Thank you very much for coming. Would like to also recognize the presence of the representative of High Commissioner, the British High Commission, Jerusha Uma, Governance Advisor. Of course, the presence of the representative of Italy, Switzerland, EU, UN Women, German Embassy, Canadian Embassy, Belgium Embassy, the Royal Dutch Embassy. We recognize your presence here, and we value and cherish your support so far. Since we began engaging with you, having those breakfast meetings, trying to think through what can we do to support Kenya, to support these elections to be one of the best elections in the history of this republic. We thank you for being engaged, being involved, for asking questions, for the relevant questions, for your concerns about the work we are doing in entrenching democracy in this country. So, having done that, allow me therefore to say that this partnership with the United Nations and the development partners is important to us as IBC as we race towards the 2027 general elections. This is because we as IBC have to prepare for a peaceful, credible, free and fair elections, and we must deliver it to the Kenyan people, because that is the expectation when they gave us this mandate and they gave us this job to sit in this tiny room, to work for them, to reach out to them, to go where they are, and to make sure that they are included and they participate in the coming general election, because it is their election. So, as the leadership of IEBC, the new leadership of IEBC, we have been in office now for 1 year. And one of the first things we have done is to talk to all stakeholders, including the United Nations, the development community, our parliament, our media, our civil society, our think tanks, to ensure that we bring everybody on board so that we own the process of preparations for the next general election. We own it together. Because IEBC alone cannot deliver. IEBC requires the support of all institutions of government, requires the support of the media, requires the support of the civil society, requires the support of the international community, represented by, of course, the United Nations, which is an intergovernmental entity. It requires the support of our diplomatic and international development partner representatives in this country. And above all, of course, a credible, free, peaceful elections will require us to engage the real stakeholders, who are the voters of the Republic of Kenya, who are the citizens of this country. And for us to do all that, we need support from every one of us. We need to create an environment that is peaceful enough, that is conducive, that is permissive to the conduct of a peaceful, credible, free and fair elections in the Republic. IEBC, we can do everything. We can prepare our ballots, bring the ballot papers, deploy our staff, train them. But if the environment is good, we will succeed. If the environment is not conducive, is challenging and difficult, then we as IEBC will also have challenges. So my appeal to all of us and to the people of Kenya is that let us remain calm, let us continue having confidence in the work we are doing. So far we've proven what we can do with the 32 by-elections that we have just concluded. We've also observed some of the challenges that are emerging, that all of us are well versed with at the moment. The challenges of the fracas around our elections, incidences of violence, and all those things that we need to work as a nation to address urgently, because the general election is approaching, and approaching very fast. So this program, therefore, today marks not only the beginning and end, it marks our enduring relationship and partnership with the United Nations and the international development community. We promise you that we will nurture this relationship, this partnership, as we work collaboratively and respectively and jointly to deliver the best election in the Republic of Kenya in 2027. I therefore wish to assure the public that through this program, we will be able to invest in communication and outreach in reaching out to the people of Kenya with the correct messaging, with the transparency, to allow them to know what we are doing at every step so that we can build trust and confidence as we work towards 2027. This program will also strengthen our internal capacity in terms of training our staff, in terms of providing some equipment that are necessary to support us to deliver that election that you so desire. This program will also help us in reaching out to those underserved communities in terms of mobilizing them to come and register. This program also has a component that would support our women to participate in a peaceful, credible, free and fair elections. So we'll make deliberate effort also to reach out to our women, whether our women candidates or those women that are participating in the electoral processes. Lastly, of course, the challenge around our youth, our young people who are restless and some of whom will be participating in the electoral process for the first time. because we've just registered some of them. And we hope that as we continue with the continuous voter registration and the mass voter registration later in the year, that more young people, based on what the record we have set so far with the by-elections, I believe that these young people should come out, and we encourage them to come out in large numbers to register, because we promise them and we will deliver to them a credible, free and fair elections come 2027. We will work with the young people, again through this program that is supported by our international development partners. So we assure you, international development partners, that we will optimize the use of these resources. We know they are not enough, but it is our responsibility as IEBC, working with other institutions that will be partnering with in this program, including NCIC, the National Police, and other institutions, the Human Rights Commission. We will optimize the use of your resources to achieve the maximum possible impact in addressing some of the challenges that we see are facing the electoral process in this country, including our own institution that is mandated to conduct the election and supervise the elections in the Republic. So as I conclude, allow me to thank all of you most sincerely on behalf of my colleagues seated here, the commissioners and our staff standing there, and those who are in the field. Majority of our people are in the field, and that is where our business is conducted, in the wards, in the constituencies, and of course in the counties. Allow me to thank you for your confidence in us, for walking this journey with us, and we trust that each one of us, including our members of the media, will continue working with us towards delivering that election that we desire, which must be peaceful, free from harassment, free from intimidation, free from bribery. That election which will allow the free will of the people undisturbed to elect their own representatives, political representatives. So we will now, of course, proceed to the signing of the program document, and I thank you everyone as we move to the next stage. Thank you very much for coming and for being of great support to us. Thank you. We will now proceed to the signing ceremony, and then there's people signing, can we, because we need to.
Oh yes.
Mheshimiwa Shadrack, can we arrange, give space to AG? I'll move a little bit. Okay, Nani Shadrack Mose Kiti, one Nani Waruke, somebody on the left. Kuna ile kiti yake. We can squeeze the still room.
We still have to.
You okay?
Yeah. Okay. Now we'll proceed and sign. Up in front.
Alafu tuone handshake.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So what's the next one? Thank you, everyone, and I think we have come to a close of this ceremony, and I believe our members of the media, I'd like to thank you for coming and for covering this very, very important event, because in the spirit of transparency, we need to tell Kenyans what is it that we're doing at every step, and you have been very, very good in covering our events, including Olkalau and the reporting. So it's good we tell Kenyans the stories as they come. So thank you very much, everyone, and yes, exactly. Yes, so thank you very much. And then, of course, we can do a bit of photo sessions with the United agencies, our diplomatic community, and of course our government representatives. Maybe we can start with the fewer people. The UN agency. Roger Kwanza, we take with Treasury and with the documents. Because they're only four.
No, the back.
Don't look, bring the documents I take with the Treasury. No? We okay? Paparazzi, take this first set. Done? Okay, the next group, the UN. Yes.
Where Charles?
Charles. Okay.
UN Women is from here. UN Women.
Keep cutting. This is a we're launching today. It's your moment. Okay, we're done.
Diplomatic community.
Yeah? Yes, diplomatic.
And then your commissioners.
Yes, and then my commissioners.
You have to give us enough
Money.
So they're giving
Can we tilt a little bit? Okay, thank you. Commissioners?
Oh, tubebe. Wale wanabeba.
Okay. Paparazzi.
Take what you can.
Okay,
thank you.
Anybody left out? Thank you very much.
Commissioner Hassan.
So, I need to come and see.
Chagua Kenya unayoivunia, chagua Kenya unayoitaka. Tuungane pamoja, tujenge nchi yetu. Kenya ni moja, na sura ni moja. Tujiandikishe wote, tupige kura. Tujitokeze, tupige kura.